Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about 3 unseen habits that make men irresistible to women. So if you are wanting to know more about attraction, what women find attractive in men, what women find irresistible in some men, is that this video is going to help you with that. And there are 3 unseen habits that may not be 100% clear to you as an observer, that you can easily adopt yourself and start practicing so you can become more like the kind of guy that women find irresistible. Okay, so you can replicate the same success. Okay, because a lot of the time it's not got a lot to do with your looks. Yes, if you're good looking, you will get your foot in the door with more women. Okay, but that's just it. You know, if you don't have the vibe that matches, then it doesn't matter how good looking you are, you're gonna remain unsuccessful with women the majority of the time. So this video is all about basically how you can sort of attach these habits to yourself so you can sort of like have a hack, I guess you could say, to attract more women to you. So let's talk about the first unseen habit that will make a man irresistible to a woman, and that is the ability to not be messed with. Okay, now that isn't like a threatening thing. It's not like about like, oh, you can't mess with me or you can't push me around sort of thing, like physically. It's more like if she plays games, you're not into it, right? You're not playing along with the games. Okay, because what you'll find is if you are talking to a woman who has a lot of options with guys, and it's usually the women that have a lot of options with guys who are extraordinarily beautiful, basically. Okay, and it could be that she's talking to a bunch of other guys because guys keep on talking to her. There's a lot of guys in her DMs, right? So if she has a lot of options, okay, and you're just an option to her, she's going to display behaviors that are kind of flaky. She's going to be unsure. She's going to, give you some carrot sometimes, but a lot of the time she gives you stick. So, for example, it might manifest in she might cancel dates with you, and still within the same breath, she'll tell you that she still likes you, she's still interested, she still wants you around. And basically, if you're allowing this to happen, then she's not going to find you irresistible. Okay, she's going to continue to mess with you and mess you around. So when this kind of thing happens and you can sense that a woman is kind of like, yeah, she kind of wants to keep you as an orbiter, and she's basically just liking the attention that she gets from you, the best way to turn things around is to just not play into it. Okay, if she says, oh, let's just be friends, you say, no, want more than that. You know where I am if you change your mind about it, if that's how you want to respond. If a woman says, let's just be friends, and you're totally not into that at all, and you really dislike what's happened there, then you don't have to continue talking to that woman, and you don't even have to leave the door open for her. You could just slam it in her face if she wants friendship. Or it could be as well, if you do genuinely want to be friends with her and you think, okay, yes, my feelings of friendship for you are definitely stronger than my romantic feelings, then you can be friends with her, fine, but more than likely than not, you want romance with her, right? So if she says something like that, you have to reject that completely and not play into it, not play along, be like, oh, okay, because you'd just rather have like a shred of her because you're so desperate for her. So you would settle for friendship because that's the closest you can get, right? So that's not irresistible energy to women. The best thing for you to do is to grow a backbone and to say to her, not interested in that, okay? And it's the same with if let's say she flakes on you last minute, okay? Let's say you've arranged a date with her and she says, oh, I can't come, I've got to wash my hair tonight, You say something along the lines of, okay, cool, I'm still going to go, I'm still going to have a great time. You do you, honey. And you just don't talk to her again, okay? Don't let women flake on you and mess you around like that, when they say they're going to meet up and then like an hour before the date, they say that they're not coming. Just, and do that, still go out and still have a good time yourself. Go and have a couple of drinks, get some food for yourself, have a good time. Maybe you can invite a buddy out to see you or something like that. Or maybe you go out and you just sort of look for another woman to find, right? To take out on that date, right? So it's the ability to not be messed with and to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll do it another time. And, no, if she's flaked on you once, that's it. Once and done. That's it. You should be one strike, you're out, okay? And that shows that you've got a backbone and you can't be messed with. And if that woman is genuinely interested in you, she was not expecting, especially if she's got options, she was not expecting that response from you. I guarantee it. She was expecting you to be like, okay, we'll do it some other time then. Or, okay, well, when are you next free? But you're like, okay, you just accept it and you're like, well, I'm still going to have a good time. See you later. Right? And just never talk to her again. But if she likes you, if she still has interest in you, that's going to confuse her. And what she's going to do, like in a few days' time, she'll reach out to you. She'll message you. She'll be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And again, if you want to, you can ask her out again. But if you're completely fed up with her and her games, then just don't play into it. But if you want to take one more run at her and see if she'll meet up with you, then go for it. If she's that important to you. Okay? Because that's one thing that you got to keep in mind. Women who have options with guys, they will tend to display that kind of behavior because they're basically trying to weed out the men from the boys. Now, the men will not tolerate being messed around, and the boys will tolerate it. They'll be still trying to get her out on a date. They'll still be trying to, be her friend, and just messaging her still, even though she just completely messed with them, totally by cancelling the date or saying that they just want to be friends and all this kind of stuff. So have a backbone and have the ability to not be messed with, okay? So another thing, the third unseen habit that I want to get into that will make men irresistible to women is inner self-respect. And the reason why this is an unseen habit, just like the first one, is because it's something that you develop within inside yourself. So it's not very outwardly seen, but it's sort of like an inner sort of knowing and practice that you've done. So inner self-respect is a habit. People aren't just born with that, especially if they're born into a home where they get belittled and abused in some kind of way. Usually people that have grown up in households like that, they don't have much self-respect, okay? Now, self-respect can be grown in a household growing up, but as you can see, it's an environmental thing. It's nurture, okay? And if you grew up in a household where you had, you just had a really low self-esteem, which is the kind of household that I was in, not because of my parents were really good, but because I had an older sibling that basically terrorized my life. I came out when I was grown up, but when I was a teenager and all that, I had low self-esteem, okay? I didn't have much self-respect for myself, okay? But because it's a nurturing thing, okay, you can nurture it within yourself. You can do the nurturing. You can do that. Now, the ways that you can build self-respect are quite simple, actually. Okay, so one of the things is to take care of yourself, okay? And taking care of yourself means you take care of your body by eating the right things and by putting the effort into yourself to make nice meals for yourself, meals that are nutritious rather than like, oh, I'll just go to the shop and buy some cereal or something like that, right? And that'll be my food. Yeah, or I'll just go to like a fast food restaurant and eat that every day for my lunch. It's about putting the effort into yourself, going to the shop, buying the groceries that are going to be healthy for you and making those, okay? Which can be a lot easier said than done in this economy, but there are still plenty of ways that you can eat healthier, and put the effort into yourself. And, one of the things that I like to do personally, with when I cook and with my family is I cook bulk meals. I put a lot of veggies in it, a lot of meat and stuff. And we do like these bulk meals that we can have over a few days. And so they're healthy, they've got the right nutrition in it, it's not fast food. And it's just one of those things that you could easily do. So you might be thinking, well, I'm really busy during the week and I've only got the weekend to really prepare for these things. It's really convenient to just go in a shop and buy some cereal, to buy, something very, very quick and convenient, but it's processed and not very healthy for you. But if you got time over the weekends, then cook in bulk and then freeze it, so you can eat it over a few days. Do that. Just make like a couple of meals, like a couple of bulk meals that you can just eat throughout the week. So that's one of the ways that you can do that if you're sort of stretched for time, you see. Okay. So that's one of the ways that you can show inner self-respect. Another way as well is to, genuinely just be around people that want to be around you. So, for example, one of the things that I was really struggled with as a teenager is I would pretend that I liked the same music that my friends did because I wanted their approval. So I spent my money, like hundreds and hundreds of pounds, maybe thousands, on going to gigs to bands that they were good, but I wasn't like really, really into them like what my friends were. So I would pretend that I liked the same stuff because I wanted their approval. Okay. Whereas if I had more self-respect during that time, I would be like, well, yeah, the music's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I'm not going to spend that amount of money to go to a gig to it because it's nice music, but it's not my favorite. I'm not going to spend loads of money on it, right? That's what the self-respecting version of me would have done, okay? But because I didn't have much of that at the time, I'll just go along with it and was like, yeah, it's my favorite band ever. It just wasn't, it just wasn't, right? But it's because I was so badly seeking their approval, right? And more likely than not, if I had just been truthful about that, they still would have been my friends. They wouldn't have but I didn't think that. I thought that I was so worthless that if I didn't like the same things that they would like, then they wouldn't want to hang out with me. Okay, which I know in my heart of hearts is the exact opposite. But that's just where your mind goes when you don't have much self-respect. Okay. So, be around people that want to be around you. Don't be seeking approval because you think you're going to lose someone that you've just met, right? So if you meet a friend and you think, oh, they're really cool, I'm just going to pretend that I like the same crap as them because I don't want to lose them. You've only just met this person. They're not perfect, okay? And that's the thing. When you've got low self-respect, you tend to put people on a pedestal and you think that they're way better than you. And I see a lot of guys doing this with women as well, which is why men feel like sometimes they have to be like overly romantic and prove themselves, okay? When you don't have to at all. Okay, it's just because you've put them on a pedestal because you just feel so low about yourself and you just think everyone's better than you, including the women that are around you. Okay, and you feel on some subconscious level that they don't deserve you. And it's just not the reality. In fact, they probably just have as many insecurities as what you do, and maybe they feel that way about everybody in their life too. Okay, depending on whether they have their self-respect or not, and if they've nurtured the self-respect. Okay. And also it's the same, you can manifest this with jobs too. Like it's important, like if you go to a job and you realize that, hey, you know what, I'm not being really that respected for what I do, or I'm just being treated as a number, or perhaps you do lots of stuff for the company and it's not being rewarded, and you find that other people are getting promoted faster than you, even though you're doing more of the work, and it seems to be like a popularity contest rather than who actually puts in the work. Okay. And if that's the case, then obviously don't just quit your job, find another job first, but be looking out for other options because you want to be in a place where you're valued for the work that you do. Okay, and you're appreciated and you get proper recognition for putting in effort. Yeah, because that'll be much more rewarding for you. Okay, so go to places where you're wanted, and that's the same with friends. Have friends that genuinely want to be your friend. Okay. And it's the same with women. Date women who genuinely want you. Okay? It's so much easier and more effortless to be with a woman that wants you. Okay? And who you want as well. I'm not saying that you should just settle for a woman that just really loves you and is obsessed with you. Okay? You've got to feel the same way as well. But I guarantee that it's possible to find a woman like that. You just have to meet enough women in order to find that person. It's a mathematical certainty that you could find the love of your life. Okay? And find a woman who's a great match for you, who will be a great companion for you throughout this lifetime, a great romantic companion, okay? It's 100% possible, and it's a mathematical certainty that you can find a woman like that if you meet enough women. It's just the law of probability in action, okay? The more women you meet, the more likely it is that you're going to meet the love of your life. Now, the big complaint that I get with that when I say that is men think, oh, well, I'm going to have to spend loads of money then, and I'm going to go after all these dates to date all these women. It's like, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a date. The first date that I went on with my wife was just a walk. We just did laps around a park and just got to know each other that way. And then it was like a couple of dates in where we had like a sit-down meal and did something different. So you don't have to be spending loads of money. Okay, you could even, if you don't want to do the park thing, then you could just meet up for a coffee. You don't have to do anything like big. You don't always have to have a sit-down meal. And the good thing about just meeting for a drink or just meeting up for a walk, it's a really cool, fun idea to do if you've both got dogs as well, to go out for a walk. But to go out, but the good thing is that if you go out for a walk or you just go for a coffee or a drink somewhere, then if you don't like her, then you can just easily leave. If you feel like, or even you may like her, but you can sense that she's not really into you, then you're like, okay, well, this sucks because she's pretty, but she's clearly not showing that much interest in me. We should probably just cut this date short. So you could just stay for like half an hour, 45 minutes and then leave. But whereas if you're having a sit-down meal, then you're going to be stuck there for like at least an hour, at least. But, by the time, you've ordered and you've waited for your food to come and you've got drinks and you're talking and you're getting to know each other, it could easily rack up to 2 to 3 hours, okay? So it's a good idea to just meet out for a drink, okay? It's a much more easier process. So having that inner self-respect, okay? And yes, you can make that into a habit, okay? So that's the second unseen habit. The last one that I want to get into, the third unseen habit that make men irresistible to women, is leadership, okay? So being a leader isn't about being the most dominant. It's not about being the most aggressive. It's not even about being the most good looking, okay? It's about being the one that people follow, okay? Being the person that people look up to and go to for guidance and advice. That's the leadership energy. That's the alpha energy. Okay, if you think of like the captain of a football team, isn't necessarily the most skilled at everything. Like he can't do every single thing really skillfully, although a lot of them can. He's just the leader, all right? He's the one that they go to for guidance and to look to on what to do. Okay, and you can easily develop that kind of energy with your friends and at work and with women. So with your friends, okay, let's say you guys are on a night out. I've used this example quite a lot recently, and that is you're all deciding what to do. Like, okay, so what pub are we going to go to? What bar are we going to go to? What club are we going to go to? Just offer a suggestion and be the first one to make a suggestion. It doesn't matter if everyone follows along with it, even though more than likely they will. The most important thing is that you went first and you offered something first to do, okay? And also, if someone decides that they don't want to do that and the group decide to go with whatever the other person does, you don't take offense in it. You're like, okay, cool, that sounds fun too. But it's all about just going first and offering that suggestion first, okay? And also when you're with your guy friends, try and be at the front of the pack, right? When you're like moving to like a location to go to like a restaurant or to the next bar or whatever, you're at the front, so you're naturally looking like the leader, and women who are on a night out will notice that about you. Okay, just try and be the one that always goes first. Maybe you're also the one that goes first up to the bar to buy a drink or to do the first rounds or something like that. Just try and always be first, and that's how you can do that with your friends. How you can do that at work is, especially if you're doing like team building exercises and things like that, again, be the one to offer a suggestion. If you have to go into meetings, okay, and people are like asking for ideas on what to do on a project, be the one to go first. Offer a suggestion. Just do it first. Just be the first one, okay? And that's how you can develop that at work. And what you'll find is the more often you do that and the more you get into the habit of doing that, and you do it every day as often as you possibly can, after like a few weeks or a couple of months, you'll find that people will be looking to you for guidance, okay? And the women in your workplace are going to notice that, okay? Or if you're going to school, the women in your school place will notice that. They'll notice that people look to you for guidance, and that's how you've basically made yourself into the alpha, into the leader, okay? And women are more attracted to the alpha, to the leader. And it's a very simple process. It just all means about going first, offering that suggestion first, okay? So how can you do this with women then? Okay, which is probably what you really wanted to know, okay? Right? How do you do this with women? Well, when you go out on a date with a woman, or you're arranging to go out on a date with a woman, and you're figuring out what to do, you just be like, okay, how about we go here? How about we meet at this restaurant at this time on this day? Because you may have asked her something like, when are you available to hang out? When are you available to go out on a date? And she may have said, well, I'm free on Friday and Saturday and Monday. And you're like, great, how about we meet on Monday at 7:30 at the Turkish restaurant? You know, something like that. And what you'll find is that she'll just go along with it. She'll be like, yeah, sounds great, right? The only reason why she may change the plans is if for whatever reason, maybe she used to work at that restaurant, or she knows someone that works there, like maybe her cousin works there and they butt heads a lot or something like that. If she doesn't like it, she'll tell you, and it'll usually be a good reason, because most of the time women will just go along with whatever you want to do. Okay, most of the time, because they don't really want to come up with the plans. So that's how you do that. Okay, you just think of like when you're deciding to do something, go first, be the one that goes first. Okay, and that's how you can develop that leadership alpha energy. Okay, so the reason why, again, that is a bit of an unseen habit is because it's not something that you're physically doing. It's not something that you're physically portraying. Okay, it's just something that is just in the vibe and in the energy, and it's unseen because you're vocalizing it. You're using that energy, right? It's not something that you can tangibly see. It's just something that you hear from you because you're making those suggestions first, and you're being the one that goes first. Okay, and again, it's something that you've cultivated within inside yourself. You've cultivated that bravery to go first. Okay, so those are the 3 unseen habits that make men irresistible to women. Things that you can easily adopt into your life. Yes, it may take a few weeks for people to catch on, for women to catch on with that you're a leader now. Okay, but and that you've got that inner self-respect and you've got that ability now to not be messed with. But if you keep on practicing at them and you keep on doing these habits, okay, eventually over time the women in your life will see. Okay, the unseen will become the seen to them, and they will feel that attraction for you. So if you'd like more tips, then please go read Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. You can go read it for free on my website. You don't have to log in, you don't have to sign up. It's just there for you to completely read for free on the website. The only thing that else is on that page is a link to Amazon where you can get the physical copy or the Kindle version, but you don't have to, because everything that's in the Amazon Kindle version and the paperback is on the website, so it's not necessary. Okay, and if you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then you can go to www.christinelourish.com and just pick whichever coaching option works best for you at this current time, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.